What is going on today, guys? Thank you for tuning in to another session on my channel. You're back with me again, Nick, for Writer Analytical Solutions. Today, we are going to be covering Python. So, Python is quite a good programming language to learn as a data analyst or data scientist. It allows you, if you have big databases or SQL servers and you're pulling that data um, and you want to draw interpretations and advanced calculations, you can use Python to do that, and it's really good for your statistical based modeling, data science, and your regression analysis, or your forecasting, all that sort of thing that is quite good to drive business growth. So today what we're going to do, we're just going to go basic on Python. This is just for anyone who just wants to give it a bit of a go, people who have been doing Excel for a while in business and they thought, oh, Python's an in-demand skill in 2024. How do I kind of know the basics? You know, there's a bit of a difference in terms of your Python skills for a data analyst, a data scientist, and a software engineer. Obviously, the software engineer who uses Python every day to um, build software, or even a data engineer, anyone who's engineering and building, or maybe an AI engineer, anyone who's using those advanced machine learning techniques typically has a much higher level Python skill set. However, if you start out and you just persist, you can get quite good as well. All right, so straight into it today. What we're going to do is we're going to import, I'm going to show you how to import a file or an Excel file into Python. Okay, so um, basically for an Excel file, pretty easy. You just import the pandas library. So you go import, and then we go pandas as PD. Okay, we go to the next line, and now we want to go DF, which stands for data frame. And the Python application I'm using here called PyCharm, it's really good for learning because it shows you what to put. So if I was going to do a CSV, it's already got it here, but we are going to do an Excel file today or workbook. So we're going to go DF equals, and then I'm going to go PD dot read underscore Excel. And then what I'm going to do is I need to find file path of what I want here next. So I need to now go and find the file path of my Excel document. So I can do a quick Control O or go down to folder, and I'm going to use the Mineral Opal licenses South Australia that I pulled off SA Rig, which is an Excel workbook, as we can see here on the right. I'm going to go copy as path, Control V. Okay, so we've got that in now. And now what I want to do is when I bring in this data set into Python, I want to go and I just want to go print DF. So I just want to print the data frame and just have a bit of a look at the variables and the data within this data set. Okay, so I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go print. And I'm just going to go DF. You can go DF head. That's okay too. All right, we've got a green tick. So let's see how this goes. Okay, error. Right. So what this means here, sometimes with the forward slashes here, um, or the backslashes in this particular instance, it doesn't pick it up. So you want to go an R in front of it. Go run again. Okay, there we go. So what we've got down here is we can sort of see a bit of a print now of the different variables within the data set in Excel. So we know down here there's 893 rows and 19 columns. The X, it's basically latitude, Y is longitude, I believe. I have to check that. But yeah, we've got commodity sort and some other variables there. So that just sort of tells me, it gives me a bit of an idea as to sort of what's going on. So if I would want to try and find out a little bit more information about this data set, what I can do is I can go df.head and I can just take the first 10 rows to sort of work out kind of um, what's kind of going on here. So if I go 10, okay, and I can sort of see, okay, there's area unit, that's another variable there, it's square kilometers. We've got the latitude and longitude. We've got the type of commodity and commodity sort. So, we can sort of, I'm sure there's an operator in there as well, copper, gold, nickel. And I go, okay, that's not bad. All right, what about if I want to look at the bottom 10 rows within this data set? How might I do that? So for that, we would go to DS for data frame, and we would go tail. Okay, I'm going to run that. Okay, and as you can see here, you can actually see the row next to the variable. So I know that row 892 has iron, um, hematite, all minerals, iron ore, and probably magnesium, I'd say there. So uh, that sort of just gives me a bit of an idea as to sort of what's there. So that's just another function or command that you can run. Um, so next, what I can do if I want to have a bit more of a look at this data set, I can go df columns. Okay, so these now, what this command does in Python is it allows you to have a look at all the different variables in the data set. Okay, so we can see that we've got um, X and Y, latitude and longitude, prior tenant, I would say, subsequent, uh, 10 underscore number could be tenure number, lease number, that's the lease of the particular site that the commodity is on, status, whether it's active or it's relinquished or it's transitional. Could be one operator is transitioning to another operator to operate on that particular lease. We have expiry date, date that the lease expires, the renewal date, and so forth. So what we can do then is we can then analyze that a little bit further in the same way as what we would do on Excel. Um, but for today's session, what we wanted to do is we just wanted to bring this in and just show everybody how to get an Excel file into Python. Um, Now, just two things before we finish up. There's two things that you really need to remember with this. And if you go on to and download PyCharm online, you can get a free 30-day trial. But what you need to be what you need to ensure and be mindful of is you need to go into settings here, and you need to ensure that you've uh, installed the right Python packages before you start running these commands. Otherwise, you're going to start getting syntax errors left, right, and center. So you want to ensure that the open PyXL is there and pandas, because they're the two libraries that will allow you to open up the Excel workbook and start analyzing the data. Okay, so if it's not there when you start, what you want to do is you want to go in settings, Python interpreter, hit the plus button, and then you just type in pandas here, for example, and then you would just install packages, okay? And we would go from there. All right. Okay, thanks very much for your time tonight. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And I look forward to catching you in the next video. Take care, guys, and all the best.